Should be live on YouTube. So get your frick YouTubes out, even though they cannot see it, because it's quick chat today. Ooh, nice flick from Zapatos to open up his scoring here in game number 3. I can't believe I watched all the worst part of the replay and then just skipped it there. Feer live on YouTube, we out. That seems like not how you guys normally behave. You guys normally behave in a way that you hate the YouTube live stream. They have removed the danger. Couldn't agree more, Shogun. I feel like I still haven't heard them all. I feel like there's a lot of lines they recorded for him. I feel like the Neo Tokyo announcer, like the Champions Field announcer, doesn't have anywhere near as many. Zapatos, nice mix up on his take off the side wall to try and get Stizzy mistimed on the challenge. Doesn't result in a goal though. Stizzy does a good job of adjusting as well. Stizzy now from the side wall uses the resets as he approaches the nets. And Zapatos left soaring underneath. Zapatos maybe expecting him to go to the ground. That is not what happened. Zapatos getting undercut. Stizzy shooting at an open net. 3-1 for Mr. Stizzy. Stizzy passing to himself off the ceiling and ground doubles it. Zapatos prepping on the back wall to challenge. And he is not able to intercept. Actually goes all the way to the ceiling as Stizzy just passes to himself on the ceiling in the ground. And it's a 4-1 lead for the Dignitas member. Zapatos has a ball carry. Goes for a low 50 that I imagine his plank hitbox is actually pretty poor for. In fact, there's a lot of situations that I feel like the Sentio finds itself in whenever he's trying to finish off plays. That's a cheeky demo. Watching from Zapatos' perspective, I didn't expect Stizzy to grab one here. When I watch it, just instantly lands and turns. But it's really hard to muscle 50s and force your way through in that low hitbox that gets the ball rolling over the top of it so often. Zapatos off the side wall, tried to bump on his way through the nets. Could not stop Stizzy, who is now up in the air, has a reset. Can't get anything out of it though, gets it a bit late. Zapatos, no demo. Only one goal here in this game. A very crucial game number 3. It's a long series. Zapatos needs to get going as Stizzy tries the psycho. And Zapatos will backflip to catch it. Heavy touch on his catch. Allows an easy challenge for Stizzy, who's now going to try and go to work. Zapatos went to ceiling height to clear it away, but isn't able to follow it up for any sort of shot. Stizzy has not allowed Zapatos to have control of the ball very long. Zapatos hook shot. Stizzy was challenging in that moment, and it's going to pay off perfectly. Stizzy half challenged. I mean, at any point, if he jumps, flips, does anything there with that, it will actually intercept the ball and give him a chance, but he was just trying to throw it out as a fake. Didn't expect the actual shot. As Zapato's going to switch the field. We'll camera check to see what Stizzy is up to, and that got completely destroyed as Zapatos bumped himself off the side wall and lost any advantage he had, all because Stizzy has done such a good job of sticking around the ball, keeping his presence known at every moment here. And he's just going to launch this ball back towards his net. I'm sure that will not end up being a mistake, as he has made it back in time to stop any quick shot from Zapatos. Zapatos is indeed running out of time. He's going to back off. Down 3. Not sure he can really afford to. Stizzy will comfortably dribble this one out at a slow pace. That will bleed out any time that he would have needed. In fact, he's even going to score again by just walking it down the center of the field. 6-2. Zapatos looking for a game win here. Zapatos does indeed go to SDSU. Over on the West Coast, Stizzy trying to get Stizzy with it. Game number 3 goes to the European. Would you guys rather have no chat? I thought this was more fun, but it does seem like people are split on whether or not just no chat or quick chat is better. Game number 4. Zapatos gonna have to get a rarity here in the best of 1 world, or really the Rocket League world in general. The best of 1. The 1v1 world, it's less rare in 1v1 actually. Either way, Zapatos has to win 4 straight games, believe it or not, if he wants to bring it back. I would say 2 of the games he, you know, definitely had a chance at winning. In fact, one of them he should have won, and he kind of let Stizzy take it away. So it's not the worst case scenario for him. It hasn't been complete and utter total domination, as we've seen some players do, even to the best of the best. But Zapatos cannot wait very long to get going. Stizzy pinpoints the post and in, and it is 1-0 for him. Big delay on the kickoff from Stizzy. Now, does he delay a lot, or does he just know his scouting report? Who knows? But either way, it's a kickoff that's going to go in favor of Zapatos. And he's able to work it in from the corner to the nets. Mirrored wave dash kickoffs. Zapatos forced to make a save. Heavy first touch that he's not going to have an easy time following up, but Stizzy actually just put the ball into the corner, and he chipped it back out. Zapatos seems stuck between deciding whether or not he's going to try and stay in the attacking third or resets. And that indecision is going to cost him greatly if he does it too often. Maybe we're just a little bit too used to Diaz, who has no trouble at all bringing the ball back to his own half. In general, it seems like other players a bit more hesitant to give up that much ground, but Zapatos is going to attack from his back line this time, and he gets Stizzy in the air and goes to the ground to make it 2-1. Zapatos, ooh, found another goal. Stizzy's able to make it orange trail, just barely. But Stizzy, again, doing that challenge where he does not jump at all, trying to stay glued to the ground to be able to react to something later, but doing it far too deep into the play to where Zapatos can find a way around him. Stizzy knows better than to go try and grab that boost with the way Zapatos has been shooting. And now this flick's going to go crossbar down, pop up. It's actually going to be hard to score this. Not the easiest of angles. Zapatos might have been better off taking the ball to the corner. He elects instead to just dump it off the back wall and pick up the 100. He knows that Stizzy's not going to have much boost to work with. And apparently, he feels confident in collecting the ball and launching it quickly. as he barely gets that ball in the air and just rips 110 km/h flick. Gage, thank you for the 7 months prime. Much appreciated. Stizzy baiting Zapatos in. I want to watch it from Zapatos' perspective. It didn't seem like Stizzy really knew what he was going for there, but that's a great use of his empty jump late in order to close some of the distance to get towards the ball. If you watch it again, it does seem like there's no way he would ever make a play in the air. Like he had to go to the ground. This time, though, Zapatos finding himself on the wrong side of the ball. Again, diving too deep. Easy takeaway for Stizzy. Zapatos has got to make it as hard as possible. Can't afford to hand over too many freebies. A fake on this one. Stizzy going to land in reverse. Slight cancel on the musty to get the right angle on it. Still a 1-goal lead for Zapatos. We've seen him not be able to hold on to them before, though. Avoid Stizzy on the possession. Take back to his corner. Cannot get a demo. I think we'll get the midfield here in a second. Yeah, it does respawn for him. Can't see Stizzy on the other side of the ball, at least for a moment, but then he sees him in the bottom left corner and can just front flip flick it in. I think this is a little bit of assistance from the plank. The plank sure knows how to lob this one forward. And a bit more cushion for Zapatos. Kickoff conversion from Stizzy. Doing so with a nice flick. There's a really snappy zap dash from Mr. Zapatos. What a power shot! Quintessential 1v1 here. A nice dribble from left to right across the field. And a perfect power shot top right. There's just nothing you can do to stop that. Stizzy again able to muscle a kickoff in to stay within range here. Zapatos is going to take a much tamer dribble this time, straight from the sidewall to the net. Not as many threatening angles. Zapatos pogoing himself off the back wall in a bad way. And Stizzy has now tied it with a minute left to go, trying to get a full sweep here against the shoe. That is not the kind of clear that is good enough to buy you time. Zapatos needs the clutch, puts a flick in the perfect spots. What a shot indeed. Zapatos, big kickoff, big conversion. Can he hold on? Sabin, thank you for the 42 months. Tier 3. You're good, brother. You don't have to make every stream, especially as a tier 3, dude. Giga Chad. Stizzy off the ceiling. Is flick denied. Shogun cutting himself off. Talking about the save because he needed to mention there's only 30 seconds left. Stizzy pre-jump. Zapatos got just enough, I think, in order to stop a shootable angle, and even catches a demo as well. He could waste out more time, but he's bringing the ball to Stizzy, flicking it over the top of him. I think we have Zapatos on the board. This is Rocket League indeed. It's going to take a couple cheeky kickoffs now from Stizzy. This one probably not direct enough of a win in order to have a follow-up. Zapatos Puts it on the back wall and even denies the follow-up. Zapatos on the board. He'll need 4 straight if he wants to take the best of 7. The crowd wants more. Should we put with special guest Shogun in the title? Game number 5. Stizzy and Zapatos. Can Zapatos work it all the way back? Arrogant Zebra. Thank you for the 4 months prime. Much appreciated. Zapato spawning in the corner where the ball was. I wonder if we can see how that looked on his replay. He should be able to watch it. I wonder if he watched it in and then thought he could get to it. Because you're going to see it for like a half second or a second before you actually respawn. And so it might have actually played against him because he saw it and thought, oh, I'm going to be able to jump. I'm going to be able to get it. But didn't get his control of his car in time to actually make a play on it. Whereas if he had just respawned without being able to see the preview, I wonder if he even tries to do that because he can't like even realize that fast and he needs to go for it. Stizzy's going to get a second. Zapatos catching a quick demo, and now needs to launch a flick to the right side in order to beat Stizzy, and just barely couldn't do it. If he had gotten enough power, might have been able to convert. Spamming some dashes back to the ball. Now he finds himself on the wrong side of the play, and he doesn't want to bring the ball back to his own half. So instead he lets Stizzy do it. Which I'm not sure if that's the right idea. To me, it seems like, sure, you accidentally set yourself on the wrong side of the ball, but staying in control yourself feels better. Although there's a chance Stizzy may be caught up and would take it away from him because he didn't have a lot of boost in the first place. He really was just in trouble for letting himself fall on the wrong side of the ball. Anyways, Zapato's going to be able to use his reset after this 50. And we'll put a bucket on the board. Does anybody know what Moxie is up to? Because he was doing a subathon, then he stopped doing a subathon, then he came back in order to continue the subathon, and then he left again. That's my understanding. So he's truly taking the subathon mechanics to a whole new level. And I'm jealous. Here I was thinking I was clever, doing the 9 to 5-a-thon because I had, you know, family duties during those other times. Whereas he's just doing a subathon, but it's just a regular stream. And he just kind of streams whenever he wants. I don't know. I'm sure he's got a good reason. He's streaming less now than he did before the subathon. As Zapatos gonna win a 50 here or win a race to the ball. And put himself back within 2. Zapatos trying to box out Stizzy. Nice little counterattack. Zapato's been playing well out of his own half right now. Reverse subathon. Gotta keep subbing to keep him offline. This sounds like the kind of suggestion my chat would come up with. For me. The chat that spams Utopia when I leave the screen. It's a subathon. I'll stay live, but I'll stay off screen as long as you guys continue subbing. And the second you stop, I'm going to become on screen. Oh, Zapatos. Zapato. Surely there's got to be a way to score there. Stizzy. Launching one high. He's continuing to pepper every part of the net, except for the back of it. And now has a reset at around ceiling height. Zapatos in a really tough spot to defend this. Gets faked. It'll bounce in. Stizzy 2-goal lead. 300 bits to keep Feer off screen. Stizzy is a top 8 European 1v1er, if we're to believe the RLCS 1v1 tournament, which I think we should. So I would say coming into this, top 8 EU versus top 6 NA. Top 8 EU is most likely favored. So I would say Stizzy is coming into this match favored today. But not by, you know, monumental amounts. Zapatos definitely could grab a series win. It's all about that game 2. If he had game 2 right now, we're looking at a really nice series. A 2-2 series. If he had just held on to game 2, sure, maybe he might drop this one, but it wouldn't be the end like it's about to be if he doesn't get 2 more goals. Stizzy gonna send that one to the backboard. Nacho Do, thank you for the 10 months. Twitch Prime to stay offline. Cybershot, thank you for the 14 months to keep me off screen. I'm about to get on screen in 40 seconds here, though. If Zapatos does not find himself a couple quick goals, Stizzy is now playing a bit more passive and then dives for challenge. As soon as the ball is covering him, he approaches the ball, which I'm not sure if he's doing that, you know, cognizantly, like very intentionally. But yeah, he does. He turns shadows behind the ball and then half flip challenge. I mean, it's perfect gameplay from Stizzy here to surprise Zapatos. And he has likely secured this series 4-1. Zapatos launching one. Stizzy redirecting it away. It has to be basically power shot after power shot, really, for Stizzy. Air dribble bump almost takes too long, but he does have 2 to get, or 2 to get in 9 seconds. It's not impossible. Hooks, thank you to 3 months Prime. And Gav19, thank you for the 7 months Tier 1. Zapatos back to his classic dash. Wait a second. This one took less than 4 seconds. This one only took 3. Any believers in chats? Do we have any believers as we head to this next kickoff? Dandy Ballbag, thank you for the 14 months Tier 1. We'll watch from Zapatos POV again. Can he do it? Will he ever switch his kick? Oh, he does! He did a delay, but he couldn't chip it up. He delayed so heavy. And Stizzy hit it around him. There's just no way. There's no way you keep this up and score it when Stizzy has boost. So he is just going to tap it in. It's GG's. Stizzy will take the best of 7, 4-1. He has arrived in North America. He is looking good as he takes down a top 6 North American in this best of 7. GG's. GG's, everybody. Hype training. Can you believe it? Shout out the hype train. We got 6 minutes still. Match number 2. Stizzy's teammate versus Chronic. Not enough time to hit a marbles, but thank you for the subscriptions so far, chat. Stizzy was 13th, 16th in RLCS, and Jack and Joreuz were top 8. Oh, it was only 13th, 16th? Well, 13th, 16th still looks pretty strong against top 6 NA, I would think. The thing about EU is it's so deep in ones. It is so deep. So there are players who could make top 8 NA in EU, you know, down to like the 20th range probably. Now this is me saying it without looking at it to double check, but now let's get Joreuz and Chronic. Love the shirt. Thanks, man. No one else commented on it yet. We got Joreuz versus Chronic. And then we got Diaz versus Drali. Coming up after that in 1 hour. Diaz versus Drali. Fear, you need to know 1v1 RLCS like the back of your head. I watched so many 1v1 games and so many 1v1 tournaments that it's sometimes hard to remember the results of a specific one, even if it's as important as RLCS. How often does Fear see the back of his head? I guess pretty often when I was shaving it. But I actually don't look back there anymore. I just feel getting pretty good. Chat, you know, if you were to give 2 subscriptions, the bar that is currently about 66% of the way from left to right would go all the way from the left to the right, hit the end of it, and then start again from the left. That would be what would happen if you gave 2 subscriptions, which I don't know if I've ever heard a better reason to give 2. Have they updated Bacchus mod? Can the volunteers over at Bacchus mod hurry up and update the free modding tool that they give to the community? What if every single volunteer stopped working? That'd be bad. Liquipedia would die. Bacchus mod, I think, dies. Then we would all die. I mean, if, yeah, I guess I'm specifically talking about volunteers related to Rocket League. But yeah, all volunteers everywhere would be really bad. That would be really bad. GG, Zapatos. Thanks for gaming, brother. Twitch dies since it survives on the back of mods. I would know from experience. Okay, should we put Joreuz on the orange? Because he is, again, a Dignitas member, which feels... Yo! Gav! I like how you did it almost like intentionally, from what I could tell, after the hype train ended. As if to make a point about how hype trains are silly. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Deep here. Thank you for the 300 bits. W, first time message. We've got a Joreuz. We've got a Chronic. He's in a game right now. You guys... I'm letting the players decide if they want best of 7 or 5. You guys want 5 or 7? It's 250 prize. We can do whichever you gamers want. You know, obviously we love 7, but here at the Fear stream we love 5 as well. I think we're gonna do 5. My guess is Chronic probably wants 5. I want players to be happy. I want them to think, you know what? I sure have a great time when I play on that Fear stream. I really like him. East is better, right? Than Central. Both. Yeah, I think you guys both want East. All right. Best of 5 it is. Why wait? Let's game. L Fear. Fear plays favorite when he responds. That does not sound like me. I love all my chatters equally.
3, 2,
Chat, here we go. It's Chronic versus Joreuz in a nice anniversary DFH Stadium. 10 years of Rocket League. Shout outs, Epic Games, for sponsoring today's matches and providing the prize pool for a nice best of 5 while these guys play on low ping. Joreuz is going to get himself the first goal. He's also, by the way, rocking a decal from the new Adidas FC Elites collaboration, something like that you can check out and get by winning some challenges. Just log into Season 19. There's also new club stuff. And we are chalked versus first touch. Who's your guys, who are you guys going with? And we are chalked versus first touch crew. Nice flick by Joreuz. Gonna make it 2-0. The only problem with Joreuz's decal is he is on the orange team. I think the 1v1 crew, the 1v1 fandom is very much going to be on the chalked side for obvious reasons. But first touch does have a big lead. Nice reset from Chronic. He gets bumped to ceiling heights. Gets the reset, falls back down, and gets his first bucket. Joreuz flicking and trading demos with Chronic. Chronic wanted that 100 boost, didn't get it, and now we'll just shoot a power shot, I think, because he didn't get it. Feels like the best option when he doesn't have a 100 boost. I'm not sure that's how he would have played it if it had respawned. Now attacking out of Joreuz's corner. Has multiple resets and just refuses to give up on the ball till he eventually scores it. Joreuz stops the first reset, but forces another one. And Chronic flips like a madman until he gets his goal. These two guys giving each other a hug on the wave dash kickoff at the midfield. Joreuz with a really clean half flip flick. And now a catch. But it's never going to be easy to score on so little boost. He uses it at the perfect time to get supersonic, get a demo, and then power shot. That'll be one way to get it done. We got a few matches that were sponsored today by Epic. If you just joined the stream or maybe just watching this video, you can go back, check the previous one. Zapatos versus Stizzy. We got Chronic versus Joreuz, of course, right now. And we will be following it up with Diaz Drali here to finish today. Chronic, nice midfield challenge. A takeaway results in an open, or not even a takeaway, really just prevention of a takeaway as he was in control. Joreuz trying to make a play on the ball. Chronic gets up and makes himself a brick wall. We'll try and get as many show matches as we always do, really, before the majors, as everybody funnels in to one location and you can start getting inter-region matchups. We're always trying to look for show matches. They don't always happen, and I would say their likelihood of happening just goes down as time goes on. The closer and closer you get to the actual events, the more people start to lock in, maybe not be as interested in, you know, playing show matches, more scrimming, more just moving around and prepping, getting to Raleigh. A lot of people are boot camping somewhere else in North America. But for now, players are arriving. In fact, Joreuz arrived today and did not have any scrims yet today. So said, yo, let's hop into one of these matches, see what he can't do here to warm himself up on North American soil. As Chronic's going to get a nice reset wave dash shots. Make it 5-3. It's a 2-goal lead for him. Joreuz, I would say, has spent time as the best player in the world. I think there was a video that Johnny Boy made that covered everybody who had sole claim of best in the world at 1v1. So you can go back and find that video. I think it's only a few months old. If you want to walk down memory lane of everybody who's claimed it. I would argue there's a week that Daniel was the best. If not a little bit more. Get your pull! They were the 5 months tier 1. I think that would come with a lot more contention from other fans of 1v1. Chronic. Nice air dribble reset. He has always been one of the best 1v1ers when it comes to aerial control. And although he loves to do it off the sidewall, he'll do it off the bounce as well. And Joreuz, I mean, he's rotating back without ball cam. You watch it from his POV and you understand why he, never was prepared to get up and make a play. Multiple times he's just taking off ball cam and looking around. Doesn't seem to be prepped to make a read. Chronic, empty jump to throw a shot at the nets. Not able to get anything out of that possession, and Joreuz ends up taking it the other way. Chet Donovan, thank you for the 4 months prime. Chronic chaining some dashes together to make a save. Oh, sorry, that was Joreuz. I got it mixed up. Joreuz is in the blue car. Oh, impeccable save from Real Madrid is what chat is telling me. Listen, I know all about EU football. Don't get me wrong. So I did not need chat to tell me that. Joreuz missing the boost pickup. Tied the game here. Can he get the angle? No, nearly impossible. But he needed to get some sort of touch at all. Sure, maybe getting the angle to score wasn't going to be easy, but he could not bounce off the wall with nothing. And that is exactly what he did. So it's a walk in the park for Chronic to retake the lead. Wave dash recovery for Joreuz. Chronic sends one at the top shelf. Joreuz recovers. Boost advantage for Chronic. Fake challenge gets Joreuz to pop it. And now he's got to make something work from a disadvantage. Chronic first to the corner boost. Joreuz gonna get demoed here. Chronic can take this ball back into his own half and waste even more time, but he does elect to go for an air dribble instead. Fakes a wave dash. And now has about equal boost with Joreuz, but has Joreuz in such an awkward spot in order to try and keep this ball up, and he cannot do it. Chronic ends up getting his goal back and getting his win, and he wins as aZapatos. Whoops, I'll fix that. Thank goodness they chose the right sides. Okay, fixed. Adolfinito, thank you for the prime. Since we're back in the old overlay days, I have to do the work myself of actually updating it. Bacchus mod is temporarily out of date, which is why we're rocking the old school overlay. Chronic up 1-0 in a best of 5. Your Bacchus mod works, is that right? Maybe I should check to see if I can update mine. It says it's out of date. Could be related to my weird internet issue to start the stream. It's okay. We'll get it figured out before long. I kind of like the old overlay on occasion. You know, I think it's probably a downgrade, but it's good nostalgia. And I think all of us by now probably know that Chronic is American and Joreuz is Dutch. Although if there's any time to have the flags, it is when, you know, we have inter-region matchups it does make it a little bit more interesting at a glance if you don't know that these guys are not normally able to play each other fairly. But hey, we live with what we can work with. Joreuz is out of the Octane, the Real Madrid Octane. That got him a loss in game number 1 and into the Fennec. In fact, he's into the same decal that Chronic is using because clearly that's the only reason why he got a win. And Joreuz is now going to take it back as he goes up 2-0. Joreuz headed to the midfield to grab 100. Chronic grabbing the attacking corner, forcing Joreuz to dodge with a little single jump. And a little extra spin from Joreuz that he just barely was able to finish before hitting the back wall. I didn't expect that to come from him, but he did find a way to make it work. Cannot catch and dish this one in, but will maintain possession. And now we'll go over the top of Chronic and pin it into the crossbar to make it 3-0. Could not afford to bring the ball down or slow down at all. Otherwise, Chronic could affect the play. And that is definitely what Joreuz did not do. He sped it all the way up top shelf. Chronic, delay kickoff, wants a bump. Not going to be easy to hit. I cannot stress. This is a very hard play to make. We see players go for this separate from the ball type bump, and they miss it very, very often. It's also super high risk because usually when the players escape around it, they do so, you know, with a really solid counterattack. But Chronic absolutely snipes Joreuz and follows it up with a kickoff play in his favor. And this is Rocket League indeed as he brings it back within 1. Drali versus Diaz is after this one. Joreuz tried to pass to himself off the back wall. Will reset as he goes to the ceiling to evade the Chronic pressure. But now Chronic not putting on the same kind of defensive maneuvers. He's backing off, and he does get over the top of an air dribble bump. Now off the side wall, his expertise has the reset, has a pretty strong setup, but likes to use the flip early in order to redirect the angle. And that does take a lot of the options out of the finish of the dribble. Allows Joreuz to make the read and make the save. Now he's going from the ceiling, getting underneath the ball, using that front flip to keep the dribble going. Chronic, a big save. Joreuz misses a landing wave dash. I'm not sure it would have mattered. Or a curve dashing out of the net, I should say. I think he's going to be counterattacked on either way, but trying to win out in the slimmest of margins. Joreuz booming a strong shot to the back wall. Joreuz going to catch, cut, and make it a 4th. After a bit of a back and forth, Chronic gets a touch on that ball, but still sends it into his corner. Joreuz high air dribble, gets bumped by Chronic though, can get back to the ball, tried a nice pre-flip on very low boost. Wasn't able to score with it. Now it's Chronic out of his own back corner, sees Joreuz waiting in net. Chronic is going to be given a little bit of an easy shot, as I think he recognizes Joreuz's challenge is banking on Chronic putting extra height on the ball, so he just doesn't do anything and lets it fall to the ground. Nice fake as he got the reset. 4-4. Joreuz with possession into his back corner. Wave dash. Now pulling out of it in order to pick up the 100 boost. Pretty strong shots to the top shelf by Joreuz, but it's denied. Joreuz with possession late in this game. Chronic. Can he get to this back corner first? No, but he will have a couple touches on the ball to try and buy himself a bit of time. Joreuz has 66 boosts to work with. Chronic working on pads. Defensively, no, he's going to go all the way to the back corner. Joreuz, it's just going to fake here. It bounces off the crossbar and in. Chronic drops the oops. He took a big trip to go get this 100, and that results in having to rush back. You become very vulnerable to a fake at that point. Because you have no choice but to go supersonic rushing across the net, it can be hard to read the mix-ups. That's exactly what Joreuz does. 18 seconds and Chronic has possession in his back corner. He's losing the ball at the top of his car. So he's going to have to launch a flick, but Joreuz will actually just challenge him. And now, out of the attacking corner to the ceiling. The flick is a bit too early. It's over Joreuz, but he shot it at the back wall and not the net, and I can't imagine he's going to be able to get boost and get back to the ball. Joreuz will equalize in this best of 5. As we head to game number 3. We all indeed do want more. But we got to wait out this in between. Diaz versus Drali coming at you live from twitch.tv/Feer in about 45 minutes. Is Chronic SSL in ones? Yeah, he's probably top 50. I feel like I've seen you around Lonesome Cowboy, so I know you're not asking if, you know, a pro is SSL. You're probably just asking, has he been playing it recently? And I think he's top 100. Game number 3, it's Chronic versus Joreuz. As a keen chatter does point out correctly, we do not often stream at this time. As Joe Mama dropping the 14 months prime. Thank you. And Sea-Dog dropping the 2 months prime. We are live late. It is Feer at night. It is Feer after dark. And it's because players like to play late at night. And normally we stream them while they're playing late at night in Europe. But it's just regular, daytime for me over here in West Coast, North America. But now everybody has moved their way to North America for the major. And so they're looking to play late after scrims, which just means, stream's going to have to be nice and late here and there while everybody is prepping for the major. Certainly, it's better than no match at all. I think we can all agree. As Chronic floats behind the ball and ultimately will have to reset to his back corner. Joreuz snagging a demo here as Chronic comes to a landing, and he'll convert that for a 2-0. Joreuz off the ceiling. Try to go quickly as Chronic seemingly looks like he might go to pick up boost, but Chronic did turn back around. That being said, I think if Joreuz had got it underneath the crossbar, it still would have been a goal. Chronic will flick the other way, taking advantage of Joreuz's slight risk. The shot from the ceiling needed to be in, otherwise he's rotating late with low boost. And that's exactly the advantage Chronic uses to score. Now passing to himself off of the back wall. This shot denied, as Shogun would say. And Joreuz trying to use the flick to grab some power in the absence of boost. Chronic still makes it back. Reset used early. Now going to roll through the ball and attempt to try and pop the ball out ahead of Joreuz in defense. Can't quite do enough. But does recover to take away the angle. Pass to himself off the ground. Wants the reset. Gets it a little bit late, but at least gets it at all and uses that for the wave dash catch. Pretty impressive mechanics from Chronic, and then he eventually scores. Chronic seems to be moving around the field with ease today. Joreuz, a lean back ground flick. Gets a ton of power, but does get saved by Chronic, who has now intentionally saved, it seems, off of his crossbar in an attempt to recover and get a follow-up, but Joreuz is there quicker. Chronic. Wall to air dribble, has the resets. Actually ends up wave dashing and running it directly at Joreuz. So a rare moment where he doesn't convert off of a sidewall air dribble kickoff victory. Now heading to the back wall. Passing to himself off the ceiling means he lands far short of the net, but he's still going to try and make something out of it. Joreuz buys a bit of space, but seems like he'll still have to play defense here against the Chronic attack. Chronic, did he switch fields too quickly? No, just perfectly in time. I'm not even sure if Joreuz knew that Chronic got 100. Seemed like he maybe tried to beat him to the ball, expecting Chronic to be low, but Chronic does get up there to send it away at least. Flick from Chronic. Looking for a psycho from Joreuz. Just falls into the hands of Chronic in the blue half. Flick is a bit weak. Joreuz saves the first one. Will there be any follow-ups from Chronic? He's going to try and turn this into an air dribble. Backed out of it. Instead goes for a reset wave dash pinch. That is slightly off targets. Chronic a demo. Minute 16 left to go. Chronic playing from behind one. Joreuz intercepts the ball and heads all the way to the ceiling before resetting on the midfield 100. Fakes a flick. Chronic does not get thrown off by that. He needed to fly across the net if he was going to actually stop the flick, but seemed to read that the fake was coming and stopped short to make a nice challenge. Now stealing boost in the orange half. He is taking the ball away as well. Joreuz has a late recovery. Chronic is so in control. What a save from Joreuz! He recovers at 0 boost and forces it off the post, but he's not out of the woods yet. Chronic's relentless attack continues. Joreuz has a couple pads. Ooh, what a clean catch, and you can see it break Chronic's ankles. Expecting that ball to have to roll out a little bit farther in the corner, and instead Joreuz just takes it clean into the midfield, and the half flip is too late. 4-2 for Joreuz. Europe maybe trying to sweep here in our 3 North American versus EU matches today. Joreuz off the sidewall. What a pop, a double. He 50s it in. Incredible indeed. Run time. Does that mean next? What, what does that mean? Chat. Do I need to get hip with the kids? Did Chronic just call for a new game? No, okay, he's playing. Oh, run time. Got it. He knows I have admin, right? I can end the game. Oh, in the future I have admin and I can end the game. Let's make sure he knows. In the future, I have admin if you want to FF go next. I feel like Chronic has forfeited multiple times when I've had admin, but assuming that's what he meant by runtime, or I'm having my you good moment right now by talking smack to Chronic. Napo, I don't know if you're being serious or just joking around, but I obviously do not have admin in ranked. Game number 4. Joreuz up 2-1 in the series. A nice $250 match here, courtesy of Epic Games. Shout out them for sponsoring us here for season 19, and that has released this nice DFH Stadium 10th anniversary map, as well as a revamping of the clubs and much, much more. Joreuz. Reset shots. Gonna get a first. Now chat's typing runtime, and it's and it's throwing me off, man. It really is as simple as Chronic just saying he wanted him to run time, but now it immediately stun locks me. Chronic lost the ball. Joreuz gonna have an easy one. Chronic wall to air dribble reset. This is classic NA 1v1 and classic Chronic as well. Win a kickoff, get the midfield 100, and make a nice play off the side wall. Joreuz stealing the attacking corner 100. Chronic just watching Joreuz from behind the ball, trying to get a good read on what he needs to do when the 50 arrives, but oh my goodness, nobody expected that bounce. Chronic was expecting something different, so was Joreuz. They both get thrown off and fly into no man's land, and we'll reset here as Chronic can't really make anything out of this one. He could rush the ball, but he just had to boom it away in an undesirable way, or maybe even lose a 50. So he waits out and does just force a neutral play, I would say, with Joreuz. And now he's in Joreuz's corner, trying to make something happen off the back wall. Joreuz clears across the nets and gets the boost. The hitbox always seems to favor the higher player. Now Joreuz resetting the field into his own back corner. Not an easy place to play out of for most players, but Chronic is going to allow him to bring the ball down to a carry, and now every 1v1er knows how to play once they have the ball on top of their car and have a shadowing defender. Sure, it's not always easy, but it's definitely a situation that they've been in many times. Joreuz chipping this one over the top of Chronic. It's not the easiest angle. He tried to find it. You could see him kind of lining it up as he floated towards the net, trying to decide what the exact angle of his car needed to be in order to get it down and in, but he taps it too high. Chronic gonna make it 2-3. Joreuz decided to back off. Let this one bounce out in the midfield. Chronic is going to have a tough time scoring this one, as the ball's too far in front of him on the dribble. Tried to 50 with Joreuz, but will be forced to reset. How is his full field air dribble? Well, this isn't the best setup for it either way. So he has to take it across his nets. Does manage to not get demoed, and now has a lot of boost left over. He can make almost anything into a solid air dribble attack, and this one will tie the game. Sure, the ball is separated from the side wall by a healthy margin, but Chronic collects it as if that's exactly how he wanted it in the first place. Chronic in and out save. And now we'll take it into his back corner. Not easy to make something happen after you've already gotten yourself over the top of the ball like Chronic has. He picks up a demo, and he actually is going to try and swing around the ball and make something out of it on low boost. Good decision, because both him and Joreuz in the same spot, except Chronic has control of the ball and has a nice bounce dribble going. Joreuz couldn't decide whether or not to turn and challenge, or Shadow ends up just sitting in place and allowing Chronic a way through. Chronic trying to force game 5. He was the one who suggested best of 5. I'm not sure if he'll regret it if he drops this game or what. Probably will only think best of 7 would have been better if he loses in game 5, I would imagine. But he's got a chance to bring it back right now. He's tied in this game with a minute left to go. Joreuz with possession, though, trying to catch Chronic, rotating out, and he does, just barely. Seemed like for a moment he was going to slam one off of the post. Chronic was, I think, trying to be a little bit patient. Surely, he could get that read quicker and clear it across the net, but I feel like he's trying to power slide away. Joreuz going to half flip off the kickoff to try and secure this game. Chronic has used up his little bit of boost. In fact, he's just handed Joreuz a goal, and it completely worked. Joreuz's plan pays off. Throwing his first half-flip kickoff of the entire series, I think, in a game-clutching moment, a series-clutching moment, potentially, in order to give himself a cushion goal. Joreuz still in possession. Chronic trying to defend out of the side wall, and it's not going to happen. Joreuz able to double it in and keep it away. Nice catch. One boost, too, as he taps it down to himself. He didn't even use the last boost. One boost to spare. He kept it. 42 seconds. Chronic flick. Saved. Chronic has to score so quickly off of all these kickoffs. And it feels like he's already taken too much time. Joreuz just going to boom the ball away. A Psycho maybe could do it because it would bring the ball right back to the other half. But yeah, there it is. GG's. GG's indeed. Joreuz will win 3-1. EU invades and gets another W. We got one more match to go today. I'm upside down. And it's back to the garage. 3-1 Joreuz. GG's. Casual. Thank you for the 12 months tier 1, gamer. Ho 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 Ray, 1 year anniversary. You're a great streamer, Mr. Feer, and you have a great personality. Thanks for putting in the effort to make and edit videos. Thank you. Farming Chow main broadcast. By the way, if I could vote on the Gamba, I would pick Chronic. Oh, you're here a bit late? Well, you would be wrong. Joreuz 3-1. And in 27 minutes, or maybe early if the players are down to go early, we will have ourselves a juicer of a matchup. For now, we got ads. Hey, if you're just wondering, why do you keep talking over Shogun? Seems kind of rude to your co-caster. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, chat. Sorry. It looks like Diaz is potentially farming Ascension Protocol right now. Let me go see what twitch.tv/JamesBot has going on. Did Diaz just play? It looks like 2 minutes ago. Oh, never mind. Diaz is potentially prepping for the show match. Let's see what he's up to. We'll send an invite to Mr. Dr. Ali as well, in case he wants to go early. We'll tweet about it if it goes early. Some people might be a bit frustrated. We could do a marbles in the meantime, maybe, in order to waste a little bit of time. The YouTube stream says that the game is CSGO. What? I don't have the game even here. Game title. The game title is optional. I'll type it in because it thinking that it's CS:GO is obviously not good. It's 3:30 a.m. It's Fear at Dark today, man. It's Fear at Dark. We do have Dr. Alley here. Yo, last match finished. Want to go early or wait a bit? No worries either way. Chat in the meantime. Early if possible. Sweet. Yeah, no, that works. Okay, we will ask Diaz. Maybe we won't be able to run this marbles before we get it going. Because I just saw Diaz said that he had to leave for a potential show match in the Ascension Protocol. But feel free to queue it up right now for funsies. And we'll run it afterwards while we get Diaz here in the lobby. We are ahead of pace. In fact, all the matches might end faster, and we might actually already be at sub goal, which is 7 per hour. I was assuming we might go 4 hours. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get into the 3rd hour, and that's it. So we actually might already be at sub goal. He forfeited an Ascension Protocol. He could play it out. I think it's best of 3s over there. And not to be toxic, I don't even know who his opponent is, but I think he'll probably win both games. I'm sorry, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who he's playing. Just to be clear, I can't be toxic if I don't know who he's playing. We need more people in the club. You can't pump the numbers by yourself. Wait, how are our numbers doing? Play matches with at least one other member of the club. Oh, you legit need another person. What if I made you a club manager? You're a club manager, brother. Boost our numbers. Get people in here. Yo, Diaz. Down to go early. Okay, this one I would like to do best of 7. I can't tell why. But so here's how we do it. We go, you guys want to do best of 7? really ease them in towards the right answer, you know? You guys down to do best of 7? 250 prize. We can start early. I'll tweet it out for the people who have been excited about this one. Starting Drali versus Diaz early. Get in here. All right, best of 7. Best of 7. Let's instead switch off the marbles music and instead our intense music. Let's do 7 gamers. Drali is blue wall, so he gets blue. Put Diaz in the orange. Let's think. Yeah, we'll keep this one on anniversary. Quick chat. Drali. Blind marbles? No, we'll finish the marbles after this match. Central or east? I think Drali wants East, and I don't think Diaz is going to care. All right. I think it's just Zapatos who wants Central as a West guy. All right, yeah, Drali gets blue for blue wall. Real Rolliver, they were the 9 months prime. Hit him with a GLHF. Here we go, it's Drali versus Diaz on the DFH Stadium 10-year anniversary map. We have ourselves a $250 best of 7 prize pool courtesy of Epic Games. A nice matchup between Europe's second best 1v1er, according to the RLCS, and North American's #1 1v1er in Diaz. Diaz has historically done a really good job of winning against Europeans when they play on EU servers, or sorry, US East servers, I should say, when they come over and play at about 90 ping to his 140 that he had when he was playing in Brazil, or he actually had a little bit less. He could get lower than that, but he's played with like 120. Anyways, my point is Diaz farms Europeans when they're playing from far away. Today, they're playing from close. 24 ping for Drali and 36 for Diaz, as they are both in the US as Drali preps for the major. Diaz played against Drali's teammate Atto yesterday. He got a win there. And now Diaz going to test his strength against Drali. Is there anybody in the world that can beat Diaz is really the question right now, the way he's been playing. Now, one of the answers might just be Nupo. And you might be waiting to see a Diaz versus Nupo matchup. Well, you get to see that live on LAN in front of the crowd. So my guess is you won't get to see that one early, but why not see how strong Diaz is? See if he can take down a guy like Drali. Technically, the player waiting for him in the World Championships is going to be even tougher to beat in Mr. Moxie, who will be waiting at Leon. For now, we got ourselves a nice best of 7, $250. Drali going to tie this one up. Fatal Tugboat, name of the 5 months prime. It's late night, by the way. For those of you watching on YouTube back, you don't notice it all because you never have to catch it the moment it's happening. But it is Fear After Dark today because the players now in North America are interested in playing late night after scrims when the Rocket League rank grind usually happens. For us, that's early when Europe is doing that over in Europe, but now everybody's here in North America as Diaz is going to dribble all the way from the back corner and fake to score a third. Diaz so threatening on this air dribble in every single way. For those of you who are maybe tuning in for the first time for these sponsored streams or watching for the first time on YouTube, the chat is going to be quick chat for any of the sponsored matches as Diaz is going to dunk this one in, as opposed to no chat at all, so you'll see only when somebody in chat types a quick chat. Drali, after a kickoff win from the side wall, gonna 50 into a boost steal. Diaz has done a good job of not letting Drali keep an advantage, though, as he takes it the other way. Drali, if he put some power on that, I think he might be able to score, but he put absolutely no power at all. Drali's gonna try and, or sorry, Diaz is gonna try and show him how to put power on the counterattack as he taps it to himself off the back wall and takes advantage of one misflip. Drali flips towards the side wall for a moment, and Diaz punishes that with a perfectly placed shot bottom left, and he's up 5-2. If you're North American, type 1 in chat if you accept Diaz as our fellow North American. Please, everybody should be typing 1. I'm hoping North America goes crazy for Mr. Diaz. Maybe we'll have a nice neutral crowd at Rally because it'll just be fun, and maybe the American crowd will feel a little bit less you know, one-sided towards their Americans like they usually are. But I just hope we get hype all around. I know as a North American, I'm fully ready to accept Diaz. Let's join the Americas together in the battle against your... Oh my goodness, what a save. That being said, always been a big fan of Drali, of Nupo, of everybody who plays. And right now, Drali can really make a statement win here if he can win in this best of 7. I think Drali probably makes his way into LAN as well if he makes it past Moxie in the EU regional. Type 1 in chat if you agree that you expect Drali to probably beat Yan at LAN in advance. Although Moxie did go game 7. You never really know how it would have panned out. Maybe you have Yan over Drali if Drali was the one representing Europe. Diaz, little camera check, and he reads the pre-jump. Diaz is so frequently air dribbling as Drali tries to counter that by popping up off of what is 95% of the time used as a high dribble. Diaz just shoots it on net, and that'll work too. It will not work for you in your ranked game because your opponent will not be expecting a perfect air dribble reset every time. And that is really one of the only ways to defend it too, is to get up there nice and early. Diaz, what a flick. As he rolls around and uses that backflip to launch it forward. He's so lethal at the back wall. My chat gives me so much flack for talking about it, but it really is a big separator for him right now. And it makes so many awkward situations in 1v1 become advantageous for Diaz, because now not only is he just struggling to maintain possession when he's forced back, he's actually in one of his favorite scoring positions, which is such a big swing. Drali dropping himself a whoops after he missed that one, and Diaz will tap it in easy. I think we're going to get to go next, and there it is. Diaz 7-3. Drali's had enough. Game number 1 in the best of 7 to the Brazilian. Yo, that's crazy work from Drali to snipe the GG a millisecond before you can quick chat GG. To establish himself as the only nice player. Because if he GG's early, Diaz, when he can use quick chat, probably GGing right back. But instead, Drali snipes it the moment you can no longer quick chat it. Game number 2. Diaz and Drali. Drali will score first. Rocking the nice shot goal explosion, which you can get with a new update. Hashtag epic partner. Hashtag season 19. Hashtag thanks for giving us a prize pool for this sweet match. All you have to do is log in. Diaz. A demo and a conversion to equalize quickly. Fix the overlay to say best of 7. Great call. Great call. Yeah, I'm so used to not having to really do any of this, but my Bacchus mod is slightly messed up, so we got old school overlay. Diaz off the back wall, dribbling from ceiling height, 10 boost to work with. It's so perfect every time. You can never get tired of it. We see so many players try and match it, and they just can't. Diaz falls off the ball and uses his flip to perfectly place the corner of his car to boom the ball top shelf. I feel like, I swear you guys say kinda guy more often than I do now. Am I really saying kinda guy every time you guys say it? Maybe I am, but I swear chat says it more than me now. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just spamming kinda guy literally every second. Maybe I am, okay? I'm sorry. I probably am, let's be honest. You said it like 30 seconds into RLCS once. I couldn't resist. I am absolutely the kind of guy to say kind of guy. I mean, it's just... I'm just that kind of guy. Diaz, is he really going to make some aerial out of this? I can't believe he created a great scoring opportunity out of what should have been nothing at all. He actually even gets a boost steal. And now has Drali on 0. He's trying to prep to the back wall. Nice save from Drali to try and survive here. A bump and Diaz a misflip. And that'll be a tie game. Agonizing Poo. Maybe the 17 months tier 1. Feer is the kind of guy, but is he a kind guy Aga? Mods? Diaz to the back wall. A rare occasion that he does not get a quality dribble across the length of the field. On 0 boost. Looking to try and stay in this play somehow. Maybe it's from stealing Drali's respawn. As it spawned at the perfect time for Drali not to get it, and Diaz to be able to steal it away. Diaz late flip. He must have used that at the very last seconds. Now trying to get the perfect soft touches here in the attacking corner in order to guide the ball to net and be able to make a play, but Diaz gonna get beats here in the midfield. Actually, no follow-up from Drali. The bounce is awkward. Follow-up shot is soft. 2-2. Diaz into an air dribble. Just rolls it through. No reset this time around. Drali gonna back off. Diaz just throwing one at net. Neither one of these guys can get a continued possession going, it would seem. Drali will get back to the ball, but the cost of all is boost. So again, it's just back and forth lobs. Diaz gonna throw one on target, and this time it's over the top of Drali as he will put himself back in the lead. Diaz able to deny this ball, bouncing off the sidewall towards Drali in order to make up for what was a poor kickoff. But is he going to be able to stop this one? Almost. Drali does force it top right. But Diaz bumped Drali away. A little wave dash. And Drali and Diaz guide it into the top right. Drali flick and gets the goal. He's got himself a lead. The wave dash kickoff pays dividends as he recovers quicker and is able to control the ball to convert. He's going to go wave dash again. Diaz just flipping right through. Gets it into the blue half. But the ball floated too far off the side wall to really make a quality shot out of it. All Diaz can do is tap it towards the net as Drali uses a ton of boost to return to the ground and force Diaz to use his flip as he transitioned off the back wall, which keeps Drali in control. Diaz, can he find a way to counter here? Seems like it's going to be hard to dispossess Drali. He does pick up his own back corner boost. Drali puts one on target. Diaz makes a save. Does he get the steal in his own corner? He does. Seemed like Drali was maybe a second ahead. Pre-flip reset, shot denied. An impressive play from Diaz, but not good enough as Drali will reset the field. Into the opposite corner. He is going to take an air dribble with 30 seconds left to go. He's up 1. He doesn't need it, but he'll go for it. Oh, what a perfect bounce. Actually, Drali makes it back in time. Seemed like Diaz was trying to put it off his net, whether he meant to or not, and get a counter, but Drali recovers quickly. Diaz has 100 boost, has the ball. Drali rotating with 0, dives early. That's only going to buy him time. Diaz is still going to get his setup. He's going to go to the opposite corner. He's so lethal from here. The first touch is impeccable. He goes to the ceiling. Drali takes it away, gets it to the ground, and ends the game. The best of 7 will equalize 1-1 as we head to game number 3. Drali's rocking the We Are Chalked, by the way. Unfortunately, I don't think his goals here in this series count. So We Are Chalked versus First Touch crew. Game number 3. Drali's not going to the kickoff. Diaz going to try and punish that, but misses. And now Drali in control of the ball with a 100 boost. Couldn't get a shot created before landing basically on the goal line, which allows an easy save. Diaz misses the counter. I thought he was just tapping in an easy one. Can he convert here? He's going to really want to. He's going to go 50. Drali, what a save. Diaz saw Drali going high, transitioned low, forced him to make what would normally be a tough play and get a real strong 50, but Drali did it. Diaz rolling through. Again, that's like his counter move to his reset. His reset's so lethal. Every once in a while, just roll through on the touch to get that extra bit of power, maybe catch them off when they start to pre-jump and expect a reset. That being said, I would really like to see him only throw it in on occasion. His reset is just so lethal that you just need to throw the air roll in every once in a while, it would seem, to keep him honest. Drali trying to force a 50. This guy able to make a save, and a long shot is in. My goodness, the defense from both these guys. The offense is not lacking at all. These are great setups, but just as good, if not better, saves. And Diaz will be the first to score. Delayed kickoff from Drali. It's going to result in Diaz in his favorite position. 100 boost starting from the back wall. That ceiling height dribble, he'll only drop it to the ground when it's time to try and make a play on nets. But this shot is actually a bit weak. Drali has a solid counterattack. He couldn't collect it. I think if you give him a few more tries, he scores that. But it felt like he had a little bit of fumbling, and it results in Diaz being able to recover in time. And not only that, Diaz passes to himself off of the post and counters for a second goal. Drali hook shots denied by Diaz. Diaz 50, 40 boost left over. Is it enough? No, it's not going to be enough, as Drali will demo him. Now it's Drali's turn on the ball. Double jump bump. Diaz gets around it. These guys play such insane defense at the highest level, and I'm loving the defense against the air dribble bump, because we saw on land just how effective the air dribble bump can be, and I'd love to show a defensive sequence countering it, and it seems like Diaz is ready for that. Drali, a demo, is going to shoot an open net. Getting his first goal here of game number 3. Drali going to get another one. Game felt like it was fully controlled by Diaz, but now it's but a 1-goal margin. Half flip from Drali. Diaz going to take it to his own back wall. We saw aZapatos do this, I believe, to Diaz. Ended up being a big mistake, because it gets Diaz to this position, which he's so effective in. Has himself a reset. Goes over the top of Drali. Needed a double, and might not have gotten it only because he got bumped by Drali. Normally, I'd have no worries at all about Diaz being able to get there. But he did get bumped, and you never know how much that's going to affect somebody. This time, Diaz does manage to at least get that crucial double that keeps the ball near the back wall, and then eventually gets himself his goal. Drali forcing this one over into the attacking corner. Wants a couple bumps on Diaz. Gets him, flicks, puts the top shelf. Drali, whether he meant to or not, is going to fake the reset here as Diaz picks up the back corner, thinks about the ceiling challenge, decides to rotate back down, and was expecting a bit more on a reset that is just faked. And it's 4-4. Diaz on an air dribble over the top of Drali. Just that little bit of extra boosting when he sees where Drali is positioned on the back wall in order to make sure he can take it out over the top of any angle that can be doubled. And he is the kind of guy to be able to easily find a way to score it afterwards. Type 1 in chat if you're the kind of guy. Drali, did he just miss his wide open net? He did. He drops a whoops. Diaz just gifted him one, and he didn't take it, but now he's going to find a much fancier way to equalize. Drali, reset over the top of Diaz. Diaz into an air dribble to try and clutch out the game. Again, goes for a roll through. He's going to get credit with a shot, but it seems like it was already too high. Drali's not going to get credited for a save. I think it went backboard as Diaz has a reset from the ceiling. Goes for a flick. These are dangerous, and it's actually going to result in a Drali goal. Trying to attack from above the ball is begging to be counterattacked, and it's something that Diaz normally never does. He does such a good job of getting the perfect protected setup. Instead, it's going to be a Drali goal. Slightly delayed kickoff. Can he pre-flip back to it to get it on target? No, but he does put it on the back wall and has a solid possession. Needs to be careful here in order to just not get beat on a counter. He does just that. Saves a good amount of boost. He'll be able to play defense, but it's still Diaz from a really strong position off the side wall. Wave dash to the ground. 50 and in. 6-6. Diaz brings it back before the clock hits 0. And he is just so smooth once he gets his sidewall control. Delayed kickoff from Drali. Sends it to the side wall. Diaz has the reset, but is forced back. Drali nowhere to be found. I feel like Diaz was hesitant because he thought Drali was around, but he notices he's all the way back at the midfield. Wave dash catch from Diaz, trying to pop it over the top of Drali. He has boost advantage, so I could see him trying to keep this up. He does, but actually by doing so, he allowed Drali to now take an air dribble with boost, and Diaz will send it away. 6-6, it's OT in game number 3. This series tipping one of these two players' way, decided by the next goal. Diaz maybe getting faked out by the fake challenge. Does roll the ball away. Drali wants to bring it to the ground and start a dribble. Diaz is going to let him do so, as he now takes this one up to the ceiling for the reset over the top of the ball. We just saw Diaz make this mistake, and it resulted in a goal. Drali this time doesn't shoot from that position. He just stays patient and elects to recover back down to the ground and keep the possession going. Steals the corner boost and will double jump his way to victory as he goes up 2-1 in this best of 7. Best of 7, just to be clear. I know people are typing one more game because they like to farm the quick chat. The quick chat overlay, but it is not one more game for either one of these guys. No GG from Drali. Wait, did Diaz hit him right back with the GG last second? It's the weirdest, most toxic game where exclusively the loser GGs. Game number 4. Drali and Diaz. Diaz into a new Fennec, I believe. Is this champ rewards? Every champion everywhere is getting so stoked if it is. I don't know what this car is, but it kind of looks like the champ diamond. So if it's a champ reward, dude, that's just peak for every champion everywhere. So stoked to be able to use Diaz's car. Diaz playing from behind, not just in this series, but in this game. Ato's been using it too. Man, I'm shedding a tear of happiness for every champ everywhere. Diaz from his own back wall. Has he done this before? This reset shot leaves a lot to be desired. In fact, I think Diaz should counter from it. Yes, he does. And Zen. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Every diamond, or sorry, every champion out there in the world is feeling heard right now and throwing on their champion decal. Can't believe Diaz got champion in season 17. The only thing that's confusing for me is that it looks like he's on the blue team, but we'll get past that. Nice little reset wave dash. Diaz seemingly playing a bit of keep away as he gets some heavy touches around the back wall before eventually getting his dribble. Drali forcing that to the ground, actually able to half flip, collect the ball, and get the boost. And now should be able to start a dribble as well. Fakes a couple flicks and then eventually takes one. Diaz does not fall for any of them and is able to react to make the save. He's going to flick back the other way. He sent it too far. He actually already had Drali beat, but he'll have the double. And it'll be a tie game. Delayed kickoff from Drali. Not going to pay off. He's sticking around. He has a decent amount of boost, but he's just going to go back for the 100. So I don't think there's a huge advantage to staying upfield anyways. Might as well get that extra 60 boost. Drali playing out of his own back wall right now. Diaz forcing him to use his flip. Drali actually able to connect on a bump as he tries to maintain possession. It will be Diaz who controls it. And instead of his back wall, to be his back corner this time. Diaz, it's all about those early touches, man. He keeps the ball at ceiling height the whole way and never lets it get close. Only after he gets 3/4 of the way, then does he finally let the ball fall, get his reset, and outplay you. You just can't go up there to stop him. And you're forced to react to what is a play that is so tough to react to nowadays with how good these players are, especially Diaz. Diaz, fake, flick, it's in, it's 4-2. It was indeed beautiful as Diaz tries to equalize. Drali actually gets a great counterattack here. Shogun's popping off saying what a save. But the important thing here is the perfect flip on no boost into flick. I mean, this is not easy to do. When you have no boost, what you have is no adjustment. You have to just make the right play perfectly. And that's exactly what he did. He flipped out to the money spot and then used his flick on 0 boost to shoot a powerful shot. This is a delayed kickoff from Diaz. Going to work to put it back to a 2-goal lead. You think Diaz's best aspect of his game is his kickoff. You haven't seen him lose one. Yeah, he is a really strong kickoffer. I think you have to be to ever reach the heights that, you know, the top players do. But I actually think you're right in pointing out how good Diaz is, because he's good at getting possession, and then he's really good at holding on to it and never giving it back. And making an eventual shot happen off of his first possession that he earned what feels like minutes ago off the kickoff that you've forgotten about at this point, but it was actually the start of an entire possession. Drali out of the back corner. I think he's looking at an open net. Yeah. Diaz on the sidewall, creeped in a little bit too far, and is going to get punished. Diaz up one with 1:20 left to go. Air dribble. Cannot get in the bottom right. Drali's going to counterattack. Diaz is able to send it to the back wall. Double it into the corner. Dashes his way back into control. But maybe overplayed his hand there a little bit too quick, as Drali will pre-jump him, and there's going to be no boost respawn. Drali will shoot a long shot. It is crossbar down. Not in! And Diaz keeps his nerve on the goal line, never panics, and just allows himself to collect the ball and flick. That is so close to being a tie game for Drali, but instead it's Diaz the other way, and he even puts some flair on his open net on what is, I feel like, a pretty tough catch and flick. Launches in 121 kilometers per hour. Diaz to his own back wall, can just waste time now, and this is what I was talking about before. Another kickoff possession in his favor, and he's just never going to give it away. He just does such a good job of keeping himself in control. Sure, there's going to be a few different times that Drali touches the ball. Even there, you know, Drali gets a good hit, and it seems like maybe he could have scored, but Diaz so consistently does a good job of forcing you, even when you dive, to not have an angle on the net, and it's going to be a next call just when the ball's in the midfield. Drali's had enough of that one. It'll be 2-2 with a best of 3 deciding who gets the $250 in this matchup. It is best of 7. Best of 7. Unless the stream title says otherwise. All right. The stream title needs to say otherwise. $250 best of 7. Diaz is Brazilian. I've seen a couple people ask in chat. Diaz is Brazilian. Game number 5. Drali and Diaz. Diaz trying to get one of his signature first possessions, but I don't think he's going to be able to, as it will be Drali in first control, and he is just freestyling around on the backside of the ball, but ultimately ends in a shot we've seen before, the wave dash shots, as Diaz will hook shot, caught Drali out of position. First goal will be to him. Drali just going to take advantage of a misflip from Diaz. Take his wide open nets. It is Shogun's new voice. Or I guess it's always been Shogun's voice. The new map has Shogun's voice. Diaz kickoff into his back corner, holding on to that flip until the final second in hopes of flipping it top shelf, but just barely misses, and what a clean counterattack. It's just a double jump, but it's so powerful from Drali as he passes off to himself and just booms a 118 km/h shot. Drali off the ceiling. Hovers behind the ball and reacts to Diaz as he jumps. As soon as he sees him line it up, just changes the direction of the ball. Nice little backflip 50 as well. 4-1. Drali within the first minute getting himself a bit of a lead. Every once in a while, I'm muting up as my dogs are trying to commentate the game. Now we've seen a mistake from Diaz and a mistake from Drali, both leading to wide open nets. Heavy delay from Drali. And then he just pulls his camera immediately as he tries to get a demo that rest of the way off the kickoff. He was staring down Drali. He's going to drop a wow. I don't think that's because he missed him or wasn't able to snag it on him. Diaz is now ready for these quick counterattacks. You can see the adjustment here. I want to watch it from Diaz POV. We saw Drali boom a few counterattacks in a row. Diaz recognizing and immediately jumping, using every last little bit of his boost just to get a small tap, because what he needed to do is throw off the alignments of Drali's quick power shots the other way. They are, you know, I guess fairly committal, as Diaz just proved by moving the ball slightly. What placement! Diaz has tied the game. How did he get this one in? A kickoff win. Drali does not go to pick up the 100, just picks up pads, and oh my goodness, it's perfection. Drali is in net and yet still couldn't get the save on the ball. That went all the way down to the ground because it's right off the post in the exact perfect angle. Or sorry, the crossbar. As Diaz now off the side wall. Drali taps this one down and should have a counter. Most of Drali's goals have been the same way. It's like one touch out of defense and then a great power shot towards the net. And that's been good enough. Drali with a pre-flip out to midfield in hopes of snagging the 100. Didn't get it. Gonna be forced back. Diaz, heavy first touch for a speedy dribble. Not one we're used to seeing from him. Normally he's almost like a ballet dancer across the whole field at ceiling heights. Bit more aggressive first touch this time around. This one's back to his normal pace, I would say, as he floats, but actually a poor landing. This is something that Diaz does so rarely. He's such a, you know, expert dribbler in terms of recovery and protection of the ball. Not only did he not protect the ball, he definitely didn't recover, slamming himself like a pogo, not even a pogo into the ground, just worst possible scenario. Dunk from Diaz. Gonna make it a 1-goal game. Another kickoff in his favor, though. Always keeps him in any game when he's winning kickoffs as frequently as he does. This one's gonna go in Drali's favor, I would say, as he takes it to his back corner. Chip up off of the back wall as he's worried about an early challenge. Diaz, 50. Drali up 1 with 1 minute 30 left to go. The dogs are continuing to try and commentate the match. We'll have to power through it. Drali, a bump and a follow-up for a goal. Two goals in minute 26 is a ton of time. But you do need to continue to get first possessions. It seems like Drali's going to have this one. He flipped over the top of the boost, which will be huge, because Diaz gets to get that midfield 100. As Drali now going to get himself demoed. So a ton of space and time for Mr. Diaz. Diaz not going to go for an air dribble this time. A rare ground dribble. He expected an early challenge, tried to low 50 it, but didn't gain control of it. He will be able to steal the boost. Will he survive, though? It seems like he's been able to, trying to dunk Drali. Drali, low boost. Only for a moment, though, as he picks up the other corner. Diaz cannot get a quick shot. Misses a dash. Drali is very likely to be going up 3-2 in this best of 7. In fact, Diaz is not even going to try, which is a bit surprising. I'm going to let you guys watch this one again. I mean, 42 seconds, 3 goals. That is, I'll be honest, not something I expected. If Diaz gets a quick goal, he definitely has a chance in that one, but he's decided not even to see the next kickoff, and it'll be 3-2 to Drali. What was chat's prediction? 65% Diaz? That feels about right. I think with the way Diaz has been playing internationally and locally, I mean, he's looked really, really good. But Drali is still Drali, so I could agree with that. 50-50 would make sense too, but I do think you got to slightly favor Diaz the way he's been playing. I don't think it should be heavy Diaz favored. Of course, it's really easy to say in retrospect after we've already seen Drali go up, but still 2 games left. Diaz has jet lag as great copium, considering he has just been in NA for months. Game number 6. Drali and Diaz. Will we get pure cinema? Will we get game 7 out of this international matchup? Morocco versus Brazil. Diaz trying to open up the scoring by keeping a shot low as he sees Drali position high. Drali the other way. The camera movement, or is it just that resets that can move the camera? Either way, Drali send him one in to make it 1-0. Diaz, great kickoff. It almost feels like he has to get something going. This series is threatening to tilt in favor of the blue wall. And the fact that Diaz gets one of his sidewall dribbles and gets nothing out of it, just loses possession as he looks to get the reset, and Drali gets to shoot an open net. It's 2-0 for Mr. Drali. Drali gonna need a kickoff. Just barely over 30 seconds into this one. Sure, if Diaz had hung out in the last game, maybe this 30 seconds would have been played as part of the previous one. Which I guess, you know, you can never really play these kind of what ifs, but I'm sure Diaz would much rather have these 3 goals be a part of the last minute of the previous game as opposed to the start of this one. But he is going to get himself on the board with a kickoff win. For anybody just tuning in, the server they're playing on, it's US East. Drali is here. Diaz is here. This is a low ping cross-region matchup. It's everything we've ever hoped for and more. And it's Drali with a 3-2 lead. 1 game away from closing it out. Diaz scoring on one of those roll-throughs that he's been using on long dribbles. This time he does it off a sidewall dribble halfway into the blue half. Just popping it out ahead of Drali. I think it took less time for Diaz to get his 3 than it did Drali. And now we got ourselves an equal game. Diaz trying to shelf that resets. That's where I like to put it when they get underneath the ball and almost use their reset as a floor underneath it to pop it up. Drali has a flick opportunity. You can see him lining up that diagonal flick. He does throw it out, but it's a bit too high. Crossbar down. Diaz able to make the clear. Camera check. Does he have a chance at scoring here before Drali's recovery? I think that's what he's trying to find out. Decided he does not. Did not go all in there. Now playing out of the midfield. Nice backflip from Drali. Diaz cuts it directly in field. He doesn't want to give even a moment to get out of net. You can see again, cutting it right back on target to try and keep Drali pinned back. It didn't work, but it does keep him in control of possession even when he's forced into his own half. And can Diaz prove me right? Like what I talked about earlier, can he hold on to this possession till he eventually gets his goal? No, he cannot. He gave Drali a wide open shot. Diaz rotating back. Soft touch, just keeps the ball in the perfect position for a follow-up from Drali. And it's 4-3 for him. Diaz getting a little wall pinch out of the back corner to start this. Look at this play from Diaz. Drali drops a whoops, giving himself a what a save because he drives in too deep. But it is really speedy from Diaz to pinch that out and be able to capitalize. Diaz, sidewall dribble, has a reset, and then shelves it. This is what I'm talking about. Makes it seem like he's going to go to the ground, falls so far underneath the ball, and then uses that flip to roll it back, this time the tail end of his car, to put it top right. Gets so much surprising height. Diaz in the lead. A lot of time left to go. Drali 50. Forcing this into the back corner. I think Diaz was hoping as he flipped through on that to pick up the 100. He didn't get either. He didn't get the 100. He didn't get a good enough 50 to follow up with. Even if he did pick up the 100, he just hands the ball over to Drali, who takes it to the net and taps it in. Diaz, a couple boost steals before backing off to the midfield, is waiting out and only electing to go up to the ball, knowing that he can beat Drali at any moment. When Drali jumps, Diaz will beat him, but he wants to do it as late as possible. He wants to save as much boost and still get the beat. So if Drali lets the ball fall farther and farther down, he gets to hold on to more and more. And then he does still get up to the ball before Drali wins out the various 50s and puts himself back on top. Diaz forgetting about his nets as he prioritizes boost. Drali will shoot at a wide open one. I mean, this is just a gift. I mean, Drali doesn't even have to think fast. He flips towards his back boost, and then he's got ages to be like, okay, well, I guess I'll turn around and shoot. Kickoff win for Drali, a big kickoff win as we approach the final minute. Although these guys have been scoring a good amount. Diaz lost his bounce on his dribble. Now we'll have to go pick up the attacking corner. Drali gonna send one away. Is this a tough position for Diaz, who drops it down off the back wall into his control, flicking this one up? Drali will have a next touch, though. I don't think Diaz is going to be able to get back to this. Neither one of these guys want to go. They're both playing chicken. Or they're doing the opposite, I guess. They're so scared. Now Drali reset over the top just to extend this possession. Never thought he was going to score on that one. Diaz able to get around him. Zero boost. Does he have the shot? He puts it on target. He does. Diaz up 7-6. Doing so with very little boost and absolutely none left over after he made the outplay. 45 seconds though. So much time on the clock. And Drali has proven that he is a match for Diaz's possession control. Sure, everybody else Diaz has been playing recently, if he gets control of the ball, you're never getting it back. But Drali has been able to scare him, has been able to take that ball away, make him make mistakes. A full field air dribble from Diaz, it's a fake. Going safe as he tries to force game 7. He's got midfield 100. Drali takes to the skies. Diaz is up there to meet him. It's a 50. This ball heading down to the ground. Drali gonna have to back off. Diaz in control with 19 boost. He's gonna flick as a way to just buy himself some more time. And now he's headed to the back corner. Gonna have his 100. Drali did not get 100 at the midfield. Has to turn back around to grab it. Diaz is not gonna force the issue. Drali is the one who has to dive on this ball. He's gonna wait for the 50. Not favorable for Drali. This should hit ground. We're headed to game 7 between Diaz and Drali. Of course, a matchup this good going into it, we should not be surprised. Champions Field. This is essentially Champions Field. I mean, this is DFH Stadium Champions Field. They don't call it that, but it has the in-game announcer now. It has all the same hype around it. Game 7. Shogun will count us down. It's Diaz versus Drali. We expected this to be a close matchup. Some of the best in the world duking it out here in a best of 7, and Drali will be the first to score. Kickoff is in his favor. And it is a beautiful reset off the ceiling and slamming in a dash to chip that one in. Diaz trying to catch and flick. Does not succeed in getting much out of it. Drali didn't have a ton of boost though. Gonna get bumped to the wrong side of the play. Can he recover? He should be able to. Diaz taking him for a ride to try and throw him off the position. Diaz now trying to play patient with his boost advantage. Has Drali stuck in net. Just got a respawn in this corner in his favor, which means Drali's not going to get any free boost anytime soon. As Diaz switches the field, he's actually going for a demo. He doesn't want to play against a Drali with any boost at all. He'd rather go and try and steal him away than even go for a play on the ball. Now he's forced it back to his own half. Picks up the midfield 100. Another potential demo attempt? No, he does make a play on the ball. Now he's looking to line up a demo. He's staring down Drali as these guys play ring around the rosy again. Diaz gets his 100 from the midfield. Drali steals the attacking corner, but Diaz is able to pop it over the top of him as he transitions off the side wall, and it's 1-1. Diaz forcing Drali back with that first flip. You can see Drali wanting to challenge. No choice but to continue his shadow, and then again trying to challenge once more. Diaz won't let him. Pops it over the top. Drali has been ultra aggressive on the ball and attempts to dispossess a guy who has proven to have glue on the ball, or at least glue on the possession whenever he's had control. Little bump from Drali into Diaz, ends up pool shotting a setup for him as these guys were dashing around on 0 boost off the kickoff. Snappy wave dash kickoff from Drali as he's forced back. Diaz did not pick up the midfield 100. He just went directly for the ball, and look at this punish from Drali. It is so quick. Drali taps it to the side wall, lands on that curve, is able to use it for a dash, and puts his shot on target. 3-1. So speedy. Every goal is so important. Drali looking to play from the lead here in game number 7. Another kickoff that goes his way as he puts a power shot on with 0 boost. Diaz goes flying past the ball. He was trying to launch a power shot, I imagine, but instead got nothing. Now he's going to force to shoot when both of them are on 0 and essentially hand possession over to Drali, who gets a heavy first touch out of the corner and a single jump over the top of Diaz and into the net. Drali's playing so quickly. I mean, it's not going to go back and show that first touch, but I think the first touch is a huge part of this. Drali just gets a top speed dribble going immediately off of one touch and just chain dashes his way back to the ball. And that allows him to be able to get a single jump in order to just pop it over the top of Diaz, because he's already at such a top speed. Okay, Diaz, what do you have here from the back wall? This is a situation where you need to show you have some offense here in a big game 7. He actually just dunks right on top of Drali. He sends it straight at him. And Drali can put this anywhere. Any sort of touch that doesn't go right back to Diaz is probably not going in. But Diaz sticks around and gets the dunk. Drali misses a wave dash kickoff. Diaz didn't get the perfect landing either, and so now there's a window to get a save, and Drali does just that. Both these guys a little bit of a mistake, but I think Diaz comes out the worst of it. He should have had a goal. Drali setting this one off the ceiling, ground pinch. Dunked. Diaz going to pass to himself off the side wall. Should be able to catch it and roll it on net. We are within 1 as we have a little over 2 minutes left to go. Nice speed from Diaz. Repping for champions everywhere and the champion rewards. You can be just like Diaz if you boot up the game after this. Get it twisted. Diaz boxing out Drali as he flips into the back corner. Another possession in his favor. One that it feels like he needs to start converting on at almost a perfect rate. A 50 with Drali. Drali's going to make it back. Diaz tried to beat him to it, and the ball's going to 50 out off the post into the midfield. Diaz cannot snag a demo. Drali awkward coming off the back wall. Diaz trying to make sure of that as he drives through the challenge looking for a demo. Drali going to switch the field, but still doesn't have a clean possession. Diaz finally has to back off. Drali on ball carry, a flick right as Diaz turns to challenge. Drali escapes, and he converts for a goal. A 2-goal lead here. Still a ton of time. We actually saw such an early forfeit from Diaz earlier. It was 40 seconds, 3 goals. Felt like one he could have tried out. Now he has no choice. I mean, he has a lot more time and 1 less goal, but Diaz to the side wall. Does not want to take this dribble. Instead, he's going to bait Drali out for a challenge. Will this end up paying off? He goes to the back wall. He forced a ton of boost out of Drali. Drali is using up all of his boost, and now he's going to defend against the late recoverer. Sir Drali's going to get 100, but it's going to be not from the best position. Drali makes the first save. He's going to pre-jump the second dribble, dunk this one away from Diaz, who's going to have to rush back. Drali doesn't have the easiest angle, but he will get it on target. Diaz gets a touch, and this is the exact situation we were in before. 3 goals and a couple more seconds than he had last time when he forfeit. But I really don't think he should have been forfeiting. He's definitely not going to now. Can Diaz find a way? Drali fakes the kickoff, or I shouldn't even say fakes. I don't even think he went at all. He saves this one off the crossbar and out, but he's not in a good position. This should just be a goal. Diaz, did he miss this? Diaz drops the OMG. He needs to score here. He does. Okay. That absolutely had to be a goal, and it did end up being a goal. Drali was maybe hoping for a little bump there on 0 boost to try and get out of it. I don't think he's going to go for as risky, or I mean, he's hoping it's not risky, not going for the kickoff, but it's a mix-up from what he's been doing normally. It doesn't pay off, so he goes a lot more standard here, although Diaz is in A decent enough position to dunk. He had to with seconds left to go. It pays off as he keeps the ball here in the blue half. Perfect spawn for Diaz off the side wall. He needs a 50. Can he force it through? He's a brick wall. Diaz within one. 18 seconds left to go. He had to win a 50 and he did. Drali on just a pad of boosts. Now we might really be overthinking this next kickoff. We have a diagonal. Drali delays. Forces it to the side wall. Diaz is going to have boost and he's going to have an air dribble most likely. Can't imagine he turns this one up. He's just going to boom it, expecting a pre-jump, maybe trying to outplay. Drali's prepped for that. Goes to the back wall. This 50 into the corner. Seconds left. Drali has boost to work with. Diaz has control. This one rolls away. Drali will be your winner in this best of 7. GG's indeed. It's a 1-goal game in game 7. But Drali is the man that just can't lose. Sheesh. That was a good one. That was a good series. Dude, 1v1 LAN would go so crazy. You're telling me if Drali and Diaz and Moxie and Yan and First Killer and Nupo and Rawas are all on LAN, you're telling me that wouldn't go crazy? Sheesh. We're 24 streaking, by the way. We got a nice sub. Shout outs to all the subscribers. Shout out to Epic for sponsoring today's matches. Guys, we're going to look for more matches in the future. I don't think we're going to have any more matches today. But a nice best of 7. A couple other matches you can go check out in the VOD or on YouTube if you didn't watch them. Follow the stream if you guys like stuff like this. For now, we're going to see who's lucky. I mean, who's skilled in this game of marbles. Feel free to type !point play. Shout out Drali, good play. Diaz, I mean, this was always going to be a good matchup. I think if we had to make a tier list of 1v1ers right now, who's in your S tier, right? I think we could have a Moxie, a Drali, a Diaz, a Nupo.
Congrats on the accomplishment.
We can maybe even have a couple more.
Can't wait to continue to consume your content.
Yo, Olympic Smoke Rings. Thank you for the 7 months tier 1. Yeah, we could throw a Rawas in there. It seems like it's pretty competitive up there in S tier right now. And so I think we expected a good matchup between Diaz and Drali. Both S tier 1v1ers for sure. Oceanon, thank you for the 9 months prime. If you've never been here before, queue up with an ! Point play. The dogs are really trying to chime in on this one. It looks like it's a coin flip on who wins between Drali, Diaz, Moxie. I think you could probably throw Nupo in there. We haven't seen Nupo play as many matchups. Give us Drali versus Nupo. Maybe we will do that. I mean, has Nupo and Drali played? Nupo doesn't get to NA for a bit. And that last week when Nupo gets here is always like everyone wants to play matches and then it just never works out because everyone's so busy. But let me see. Have Drali and Nupo played any time recently? I don't know if we're going to get the answer in a reasonable time because that's just how RL Duels is. SS tier Nupo. You have Nupo on his own tier? I mean, he'd have to go crazy. He'd have to go absolutely... I mean, after playing a best of 7 against Rawas going down 3-1, I think you already can't put him on his own tier, even if he wins that one. But I guess if he crushes both LAN matches, we could put him right back up there on SS tier. You do not care you want marbles today? We got marbles up. Type exclamation point play. So it's going to be Diaz Nupo. Yeah, that's the only 1v1 matchup at Drali. Diaz Nupo. By the way, I'm going to be there. We're going to be watch partying. We'll be watch partying the whole event still. Actually, we'll miss one day to get a flight. Kingslayer Gold, thank you for the 7 months prime. We'll miss half of one day in order to fly out. But that's it. Dan's still the GOAT. Yeah, imagine Daniel gets back into ones because there's going to be more, 1v1 players at LAN or something like that. Will you be casting on LAN for the 1v1? No. I'm just going to watch party. I'm going like I normally do, basically as a fan. But I guess not fully as a fan because we're going to try and watch party the whole thing. Will Zen play ones? Probably not. But he could. You think Moxie would struggle more against Diaz than Nupo? Just because of how many times they've played? Interesting, interesting. Maggots! Thank you for the 2 months prime. All right, chat, you guys ready? We're actually approaching the 4th hour here that I did not think we'd get to, but I think we're still going to end before that. Let's run these marbles. And let's call it a day. What do you guys say? Thanks for hanging out today. 3 international 1v1s. We had Stizzy Zapatos. We had Joreuz Chronic. We had a little Diaz Drali. You love to see all of them. We'll probably not do any tomorrow. Then over the weekend, guys, we have Cash Cups. So we'll do the Cash Cups. Maybe we'll sneak in like some international matchups while doing the Cash Cups. Joreuz is queued up for NA Cash Cups, so that should be fun. So that's kind of international anyways. I don't know if anybody else queued up for NA Cash Cup. It's 1v1, so in theory it could have been kind of cool to see some of the people who are here temporarily queue up for NA Cash Cup. But if I had to guess, they're all not gamers like Mr. Joreuz. So I'm going to expect only Joreuz to be the one, but you never know. Maybe we'll see more. And of course we have Mina. I saw Nupo. Oh, not Nupo. Nush, Dr. Known, Shoddy queued up for Cash Cup Mina. So we should have good final there. And then assuming Moxie is not just gone. I mean, previously I would say there's no chance that Moxie doesn't queue up for EU Cash Cup, but I mean, he hasn't been streaming, which it's not really like him to not play and or play and not stream. So I don't know. That guy no one likes in first. By the way, King of the Marbles right now is Andrewski. He's a sub who has won most recently, has the VIP. I've been thinking about stuff that we can give the king that they can enact, and I think I'll have it ready for next stream, but I don't yet. Did Diaz win or did Drali win? You guys might have to just check out the YouTube, exclamation point YouTube, and go look there to see when the videos came out, who won. But you can also check the YouTube right now to see the live stream VOD, or the Twitch VOD will be up right away. It should already be there. What the heck? Strincredible just stole that one away. I thought it was going to be a day-end win, but it is going to be Strini-credible. Congratulations, follower since June 2024 on your subscription to the channel. And now the player who finishes last, we will say goodbye to Strini-credible. Is the kind of guy to steal marbles, no question. Chad, thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for hanging out today. We've got 5 international matches already. This is a lot more than we ever get when we're trying to set up matches like this. So it's cool that we've been able to get so many. Hopefully we get more. Like I said, hopefully when Nupo arrives, we can get some warm-up games for him. Maybe Diaz is still down to play some more. Maybe Drali's down to play some more. It looks like live Mr. is probably about to lose this game. No, he died last second. So who was it? Arjun. I can join the matches as Cash Cup, yes. Is it worth it? I was able to answer your question, but you're gone. It's Arjun 411. All right, chat. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna watch some ads, find somebody to raid. We'll see Arjun 411 in 2 weeks. Thanks for hanging. Hopefully you guys like the games. I think we're all